Hello everyone, my name is Patricio Garcia de Quevedo and today we're gonna talk about one of my favorite albums of all time, which is this, Big Star Third or Sister Lovers. Let's get something out of the way straight away. Big Star Third or Sister Lovers actually doesn't have a title and it actually doesn't have an official track list. There have been many releases of the album. The first one was titled Third, and some have been titled Sister Lovers. But there's actually changes in the music in the songs that have been in each release. So there's no official release or definitive version of Third Sister Lovers. But recently there was a box set titled Complete Third, which has all the songs that were written for the album. With that out of the way, let's talk a little about the history of Big Star because Big Star is recognized as one of the most tragic rock bands in history. Big Star was formed in 1971 with the main lineup of Alex Chilton and Chris Bell, which was a Lennon-McCartney style of collaboration, and with drummer Jody Stevens and bassist Andy Hummel. Before Third, they had released two albums. The first one was with the complete lineup. It's titled Number One Record, and it's also a very acclaimed, fantastic album with one of my favorite songs of all time, which is called 13. Won't you let me walk you home from school? But sadly, the album never did very well, and after that, Chris left the band and also went on to have a very tragic life, dying at the short age of 27. The rest of the band then released the album Radio City. It also flopped in the charts and it led to Andy Hummel leaving the band. So for the third album, only Alex and Jody were part of the band and they even didn't know if Big Star was continuing. Third or Sister Lovers was recorded in 1974 and it represented a huge change in the sound of Big Star. Big Star went from power pop to a very unhinged and crazy sound. Jody added string sections to the songs, and Alex and producer Jim Dickinson made it a way to make the album sound crazier, to make it all sound muddy and the strings to sound sometimes off key to cause a uneasy feeling. Songs like Holocaust and Kangaroo, my favorite of the album, have a feeling of tension that is not caused because the structure is very simple pop, but the strings and the production just cause you to feel like something's not well. And in fact, it wasn't at all well. Alex was going through a very hard period while recording the album, and he even invited homeless people to the studio, and he was in a very toxic relationship at the moment. It was finished in 1974. It wasn't released until 1978, and by the time the band really didn't care. Big Star didn't even know if the album was getting released, and the studio did it, but it flopped, as with all of the previous albums by Big Star. Still, Big Star has gotten a cult following, and many bands like REM have found them to be incredibly influential. And Rolling Stone has included all three of their albums in the 500 best list of albums of all time. While the story of Big Star wasn't a happy one, and right now there's only one member left alive, sadly, it's a very interesting story, and a story of true artists who really did what they wanted, even though the record label treated them very poorly. Their albums are all essential, but especially Third has a very raw, emotional feeling, which makes really feeling everything that Alex felt when he recorded it. All the pain, how he felt mentally at the time. It's really essential to listen to this album because it also inspired a lot of movements like noise rock, like the Jesus and Mary chain. But if you want something more relaxed, with also some of the feelings that Big Star had. The way I met Big Stars was with a cover by the band This Mortal Coil of the song Kangaroo, which is absolutely fantastic. Well, anyway, sorry for this terribly depressing video, but Big Stars is a story that has to be shared, and I hope you enjoyed if you could. See you!